people of the internet. Hello. I had this idea of making this video just to kind of talk a little bit about something that really bothers me about people on the internet. I know it's like how many of those videos you need to see in your lifetime, right? Well, anyway, the point to this video is that people tend to be using A, B, C, D arguments on the internet, and what this is there's people who are trying to answer a question or a dilemma in which there actually is no true answer. Otherwise, we would all just, like the color red. Oh yeah, you don't see people making YouTube videos about the color red not being red, right? You don't see that. So the stuff that people are making videos about tend to be things that we can't agree on, we don't understand. And the reason why we can't agree is because we don't understand. So what they do is they try to garner a bunch of different tertiary arguments and like things out there, be like, oh, here's exhibit A, here's exhibit B, here's exhibit C. And none of those exhibits are strong enough to make a truth statement. So what they do is they just take all these little things. You'll see this in MGTOW. You'll see this when it comes to spirituality. You'll see this when it comes to what kind of human behaviors people should participate in, or what is this thing, what is that thing, and so forth. And so what they'll do is they'll take all these little things and they'll be like, oh, this builds, so this snowballs toward an overgeneralizable truth. Okay, so first of all, the overgeneralization is fallacious to begin with. So that approach, that attempt, is fallacious to begin with. But also, this is people dealing with the insecurity that they have, the cowardice that they have toward confusion in the face of humanity not knowing much about what life is, or why we're here, or what we're doing, and so forth. You will see that when people make arguments about God existing, they'll be like, "Oh, well, look at this thing over here, look at this thing over here, look at this," and then all these things together, because we got a lot of little pieces. Yeah, we can make this overgeneralization that, oh yeah, everything is God, like God exists. It's so fantastic. Or you see MGTOW do this with women. They're like, oh, look at that bad lady over there. Look at this Karen. Look at this Karen over here. Oh, she's a bad woman, this Karen over here. Therefore, all women bad, or something like this, or and so forth. And the fact is that the thing is, human beings are afraid of being confused. They're afraid of not knowing, and they're not willing to face this fear with courage and acceptance that, heck, we don't fucking know. We don't know what life is about. We don't know what life is. We don't know what the right way to behave is. We don't know, a heck of a lot. Really, the truth is we don't know a heck of a lot. And there's people who want to pretend to be gurus and experts, and they're quite despicable, every single one of them, because this is all they do. This is all they do all day, is they think of little pieces of evidence that they can parse together in order to make some kind of overgeneralization about life, about how one should be or one should behave, and so forth. All these people are stupid. They don't know. They don't know. Now, it's one thing to admit, man, I don't know. And the fact is, people are watching it mostly, or these people, because they're trying to like, oh, that's kind of weird. That's kind of interesting. That like maybe that does mean this, huh? But ultimately, at the end of the day, it requires your belief. It requires you to believe based upon these pieces that have been parsed together that X equals true. That's basically it. But it's not damning, convincing argumentation. Convincing argumentation should be just, short little paragraph, a few sentences that identify and justify and explain that you can just simply say, yes, that is true, without any questionability. Okay, if you can't do that, if you're not able to do that, then you don't know. Now, okay, you could say, well, these pieces of evidence that they point toward or lead to a particular conclusion. And you could say, okay, well, that's great. You got these little pieces of evidence, and yeah, we'll consider that. We'll consider these little pieces of evidence and so forth. But it doesn't make whatever it is that you're trying to prove true. And if you could prove what you're trying to argue, if you were capable of that, if it was possible for you to do that, we would all just agree with you. There would be no debate. The debate comes from the confusion, from the requiring to believe something, from you not providing a succinct argument that anyone can be like, yeah, that makes sense, that's true. But also, it's not quite as entertaining, is it? It's not quite as entertaining if you can just say, oh, yeah, that's true. Or, you can say, blah, 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 that's true. Like, the color red is obviously red.